Staff at an Auckland school are preparing for what is expected to be the worst term yet for students turning up without lunch. KidsCan says demand from its network of 787 partner schools has skyrocketed as families struggle to deal with the economic impacts of COVID-19. One of those schools is Flatbush Primary. Its principal is worried about the road ahead. Cameraman Nick Monroe and reporter Nick Trubridge have the story.
Tamarangi, peanut butter, darling, and look, some fruit pots and some peanuts with the chocolate in it.
Flatbush Primary School teacher aide Angie Harris has fed a fair few hungry kids in her time. And with communities like hers reeling from the economic impacts of COVID-19, this winter is shaping up as the most grim yet.
When I first took this over, I can remember the other lady had about 9. Then it grew to about 20, but now I'm getting like 50 or 60 children, so average from 50 to 60. Being today, I don't know how many are away, but yeah, it does increase.
It's 12:30 at the South Auckland Primary School and lunch is being served. A steady stream of hungry kids of all ages and sizes is filtering through the staff room. Angie passes each a peanut butter sandwich. Fruit pots and scroggin are also on offer. There is plenty to go around, but Harris says some of the kids here still hold back.
I have seen ages ago I had also a little boy and he complained of a sore stomach and he was just sitting there, so I did ask him, have you had breakfast? Have you had anything to eat? And he was too shy to tell me no. And so I basically just gave him something from, because I used to work in the tuck shop across the school over there, and just gave him a fruit bottle and made him a sandwich. And the look on his face was like, he was happy.
It's the start of term 3 today, and Flatbush Principal Barnapa Avatea tells me families make a real effort to send their kids to school with lunch on the first day back. But Harris says there's no doubt times are tough, and getting tougher.
It's just really hard out there with finances.
And particularly hard at the moment for a lot of families?
Very hard for a lot of families, and you see it. And I do know that they don't get a hot meal. So this is basically probably their daily. And if they want extra from the fruit pots and that, I give it to them. I'm not going to say no.
Avatea beams as he shows us around his school and introduces us to smiling kids. But he too is worried about the rest of the year.
Winter time is always a more expensive season with increased power bills and all those costs that are attached. But with COVID-19, it's just added an extra layer of pressure on families, and most certainly, once September comes and the pay subsidy scheme is ended, we're going to experience, potentially more challenges again.
Avatea says some lunchtimes are busier than others. He's seen days where 60 kids have lined up for lunch to fuel them through the day's learning.
Housing takes a huge chunk of family income. The cost of petrol is higher. Just general day-to-day costs has increased so much. And when I think about the years I've been in schools, that's just something that's added pressure upon pressure onto families, and they've done everything they can to absorb it. But unfortunately, Auckland City doesn't look like it's going to become a cheaper place to live anytime soon.
Flatbush Primary is just one school benefiting from what KidsCan Chief Executive Julie Chapman says is the charity's largest ever term for food distribution. Chapman meets us at the charity's Albany warehouse, where slabs of food are stacked high all the way up to the ceiling. Volunteers are up early, putting together parcels that for some will be their main meal of the day.
Over the next 2 weeks, it's approximately 1.6 million items of food that will go out of this warehouse all over New Zealand to our 787 partner schools.
Chapman says she's saddened by the level of demand for KidsCan services. She wants to see orders go down. Instead, they've skyrocketed. Demand for food from schools KidsCan already supplies is up 40%, from 152 tonnes last term to 211 tonnes this term.
We're sending out more hot meals than ever. We know that families are doing it really tough and they're having to make choices between putting food on the table, paying for power or keeping a roof over their heads. We know that families are losing their houses now, and we know that also the food budget is the thing that really shrinks. So that explains, I guess, why our schools are now coming to us and ordering even more food than before, because they know for many children this could be the only hot meal or decent meal they get during the day.
Chapman says KidsCan had hoped to see a general winding down in school lunch requests over the next couple of years, but the pandemic has spoiled any possibility of that. For now, the mission is simple: feed Flatbush and others like it. For Checkpoint, Nick Trubridge.